Hey, folks, welcome to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. I'm your host, Louis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you for joining me today, and thank you for everyone that has decided to subscribe to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Very grateful, very appreciative. Thank you so much for subscribing, and I'd like to give a shout out right now to one of our subscribers, Apney Cartoon. Apney Cartoon, thank you very much for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Very appreciative, very grateful. Apney Cartoon, thanks a lot for subscribing to the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network YouTube channel. Okay, so let's get on to a few things. Not going to spend too much time here today. Shinsuke Nakamura, when asked who he wants his final opponent to be when he retires, and his retirement's a long time away, but indicated who he would like to wrestle again. And he indicated that he would like to wrestle New Japan Pro Wrestling's Hiroshi Tanahashi. Yeah, that's right. He said he wants to wrestle Hiroshi Tanahashi again. Was asked on when this is Ringside News reporting when the thought of his last match was presented to him on Shinsuke Oral Sessions podcast. Shinsuke Nakamura was asked on who he wants to face before hanging up his boots for good. Nakamura had one person in mind: his former IWGP tag team partner, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Says, I want to wrestle Tanahashi again. Also, I want to wrestle a rising star like a new guy, but I don't know just yet. But the fact of the matter is that he wants to wrestle Hiroshi Tanahashi. And for that match to happen, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to have to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling to do that, because Hiroshi Tanahashi is not coming to the WWE. Hiroshi Tanahashi is never going to leave New Japan Pro Wrestling. And Shinsuke Nakamura is rumored not to be happy with the WWE. As a matter of fact, during this podcast on Oral Sessions, he talked about New Japan Pro Wrestling a lot. He talked about Okada. He talked about Kota Ibushi. So he's talking about New Japan Pro Wrestling a lot during this podcast. And he indicates that he wants to wrestle Hiroshi Tanahashi again. And put two to two together there, man. Put two plus two together there, man. I'm trying to spit it out there. But I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know when his contract is up. I did some research. I checked to see when Nakamura's contract is coming due, but I couldn't find any information on it. I'm not sure, but it seems like he's seriously thinking about heading back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. And hey, I hope he does, man, because he was a megastar there. Not really that much of a star in WWE, but he could go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling and he could be a megastar again. He could have that match with Hiroshi Tanahashi. He could have a match with Kota Ibushi. He could have the match with Okada. If he wants another match with Tetsuya Naito, plenty of people there for him to have great matches with. So he's kind of, I don't know. I mean, I know, like I said, it's rumored that he's not happy. I think somebody had indicated on Instagram. I think I read it. Just read this recently. I think it was Instagram on social media somewhere. Somebody indicated that he's happy. That he heard that Shinsuke Nakamura is happy with the surfing and being in the States and being the WWE. And Nakamura responded like, "Who said I'm happy?" Right? So just a little subtle hints there, like, hey, maybe it's time to head back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I know he lives here in the States, but who knows, man? And he didn't say he wanted his last opponent to be Brock Lesnar. He didn't say he wanted his last opponent to be Randy Orton. He didn't say he wanted his last opponent to be John Cena. He said he wanted his last opponent to be Hiroshi Tanahashi, or not just his last opponent, but he would like to wrestle before hanging up his boots for good. He would like to wrestle Hiroshi Tanahashi again. Tanahashi's 44 years old. Nakamura, I think, is 41. They still have a lot left in the tank, but yeah, I think Nakamura is going to head back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I just have that gut feeling. I have the gut feeling that Shinsuke Nakamura is just about had it with the WWE, and I think he wants to go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, it's not going to be long term. I don't know if it's going to be long. It could be long term. Who knows? I mean, um, Kenta went back, right? He was a Hideki Itami, um, and was it Hideki Itami? It was something Itami, Hideo Itami, I think, and he went back and he signed a nice deal with them with New Japan Pro Wrestling, and he's thriving there in New Japan Pro Wrestling right now. I can see Shinsuke Nakamura going back. I have a gut feeling he's going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. I think he's going to finish his career out with New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's 41 years old. He's got a long career left in professional wrestling, and like I said, I think he's going to finish his career in New Japan Pro Wrestling. And I really do think we're going to see Shinsuke Nakamura and Hiroshi Tanahashi one more time. And we're going to see Nakamura against other New Japan Pro Wrestling stars as well. Speaking of New Japan Pro Wrestling, Road to Wrestle Grand Slam, the last show, the night 3 was this morning, actually, early this morning. The main event was just fantastic. Kota Ibushi and Hiroshi Tanahashi. We were just talking about him against Jeff Cobb and the Great Khan of the United Empire. This was just a fantastic main event, and they are leading up to a one-on-one match with Kota Ibushi and Jeff Cobb. Jeff Cobb actually, after the match was over, Kota Ibushi pinned Great Khan to win the match for his team, but Jeff Cobb and Kota Ibushi, they were just face to face. And Jeff Cobb basically said, "I want you one-on-one," and he put his hand out to shake Kota Ibushi's hand, but Kota Ibushi was going to shake his hand, but Jeff Cobb just gave him the finger and just left the ring. So we're definitely going to get Kota Ibushi against Jeff Cobb one-on-one, and my goodness, this is going to be one hell of a spectacular match. I mean, they had lots of interaction. In this tag team match, and I can't wait to see them one-on-one. I can't wait to see them one-on-one. I mean, the United Empire, Great Khan had his one-on-one match with Tetsuya Naito. Aaron Hanare had his one-on-one match with Sonata, which was fantastic. And now we're gonna get Kota Ibushi. It's Jeff Cobb's turn. Now we're gonna get Kota Ibushi, Jeff Cobb one-on-one. Probably at Wrestle Grand Slam. That show has been postponed, and I know they're going to reschedule it. The shows have started again, so we have the Road to Wrestle Grand Slam shows are happening now. So it's just a matter of time when they're going to reschedule that show. And I think we're definitely going to see Kota Ibushi against Jeff Cobb one-on-one on that show. That's going to be one freaking amazing match. And because that's going to happen, I thought Kota Ibushi might be a candidate to become the new IWGP Heavyweight Champion. But it appears at Wrestle Grand Slam, I was looking at the card. Only one match is announced, and it's Okada against whoever the champion is. So whoever the champion is going to face Kazuchika Okada in the main event at Wrestle Grand Slam. I thought it might have been Kota Ibushi, but Kota Ibushi's they're building towards Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb. So that's the match that they're going with. So he's kind of out of the title picture. Shingo Takagi, though, the last 2 shows, there was an 8-man tag team action, and he won the match for his team both times for Los Ingobernables de Japan. And I think they're building him up to be actually the next champion. I think Shingo Takagi will be the next IWGP Heavyweight Champion. I don't know how they're gonna put the title on him. I know they have a few other shows coming up, unless they have little tournaments. I don't know. There's no plans. Nothing's been announced yet. But I think Wrestle Grand Slam, I think the main event's going to be the IWGP Heavyweight Champion Shingo Takagi defending against Kazuchika Okada. And that's going to be just a great one. You know, it's hard to say whether Okada is going to get the title back or if they're going to keep it on Takagi. But that's what I'm predicting right now. That's what I'm predicting. Shingo Takagi to be the next IWGP Heavyweight Champion and defend it at Wrestle Grand Slam against Kazuchika Okada. It was originally supposed to be Will Ospreay, but unfortunately Will Ospreay has the neck injury, so he's out indefinitely. But New Japan Pro Wrestling, man, there's a lot to look forward to right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling. They're building a lot of one-on-one matches. Even the match before the Ibushi Tanahashi match, looks like they might be building towards Tetsuya Naito against Tomohiro Ishii, and I am all for that as well. I'm all for that as well. So I know a lot of guys are out right now due to COVID. New Japan Pro Wrestling. There was a number of guys. I know Kazuchika Okada confirmed that he tested positive. I know Sho, Yo. There were a few others as well. I think El Desperado. But once they all come back, and I'm sure they'll be back very, very soon. We're gonna get some really great action. We're getting some really great action right now with the talent that they have, that they're able to use, and man, oh man. Just keep your eyes on New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's got some great stuff coming up. Lots of great one-on-one matches coming up for New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I'm just super excited, man. Super excited for this stuff, man. New Japan Pro. Wow, I'm just thinking of Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb. It's just gonna be spectacular. It's just gonna be spectacular. And one more quick note. NWA, when Our Shadows Fall pay-per-view, Nick Aldis has a challenger for his NWA title. So Nick Aldis will be defending the NWA championship against Trevor Murdoch, who won a battle royal to become the number one contender on the last NWA Power Show. And so When Our Shadows Fall, Nick Aldis defending against Trevor Murdoch. So there you have it. For today. And that's it for me. That's it. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for listening to me today. I'm Lewis Carlin. This is the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network podcast. And until next time, thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye-bye.